Hi everyone, in this video we are going to be talking about Christmas and spending money at Christmas. Before I go any further, this is a video for adults, so if we have little ears, little children in the room with you now, I do not want to be the spoiler of Christmas magic, so I'm going to stop talking and you are going to usher the children out and go and give them something to do while we talk. I'll wait. Okay, now it's just us. We can get down to the nitty-gritty of Christmas spending. In this video, I want to talk about how much is appropriate to spend at Christmas on your children, how much is appropriate to spend at Christmas on Christmas presents, full stop, and actually what really matters. Now, I don't want to be a Christmas killjoy. I want us to enjoy Christmas. I want us to have the joy of being able to buy our children things, to buy our friends things, and to enjoy that gift giving and gift receiving process of Christmas. What I don't want is you to get into debt because you feel that you've got to keep up with what everybody else is doing. Now, I think over the last 10 years, there's been a massive increase in this social media guilt present buying, this kind of competitive nature. I see it on mum groups, I see it just generally in Facebook, I see it here on YouTube, and honestly I think it's gross. I think it is gross. There was a video that went around, really popular family vlogger channel, where they showed all of the Christmas presents that they had bought their children, and personally, when I watched that, I didn't feel the Christmas spirit. I thought, why on earth have you bought your children that many presents? They're not going to appreciate it. It just felt excess. Now, first of all, you can do what you want. It's your life, it's your children, it's your families. You can completely not listen to me at all. But I know that there are many of you out there that feel the same. But you are stuck in this pressure of feeling that you have to spend that, and then feeling guilty if you don't, and worrying that your children will feel left out at school if they don't have that top Christmas present that's out there. And I don't want you to feel that. I need you to know that there is another way, and not everybody is following that path. So let's have a little think about it first of all. One, your children want your time and doing fun things with you far more than they want that present. Might not always feel like that when they're being annoying, but they do. Second of all, you getting yourself into debt over Christmas will make you a miserable mum or dad. And so come January, when you're struggling to pay the bills because you've racked up some debt because of some silly expectations that you have on yourself, they're going to have a miserable mum and dad. Perhaps they're going to see arguments in the family because everybody's stressed to the max because they've spent all the money. Maybe you're going to snap at your children. I'm telling you now, your children don't want that. They would rather not have the presents, honestly. So let me tell you what I do in my family. Me and my husband, when my husband was alive, we both were very together on how we saw Christmas happening. Neither of us liked expecting children that write big lists and expect to get everything on the list. I didn't grow up like that, and I didn't want my children to have that expectation, because I don't think it's very appreciative to always expect everything like that, whether it's Father Christmas or whether it's some mum or dad or whatever. And so when the girls were very, very little, we barely got them a thing. Their first year, I'm not sure we got either of them as babies anything, because it's a ridiculous thing to do, because they're babies and they don't care. They just want to be fed their milk, and they want cuddles and you to sing them a song and be warm and not have a wet nappy on. That's it. They don't care about gifts. And when I see people buying ridiculous amount of Christmas gifts for a baby, I just think, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Now, I know I'm being judgy here, and I know maybe you're thinking, oh, you absolute Scrooge. Okay, and if you can afford to buy your baby loads and loads of gifts and you want to do that, that is your prerogative, it is your life, and I promise you I'm not judging. But what worries me is that that expectation is on everybody, and so people who can't afford to do that feel, oh, but then maybe I'm not a good mom, maybe I'm not a good dad if I don't do that. And it's not true. We didn't get the girls anything, and I'm not even sure in sort of even their second Christmas, I think we got them little bits and pieces. In fact, I can't remember the timeline, but I know that one of the years Texas asked for mushy peas from Father Christmas, and she got mushy peas. In fact, we got most of their gifts from Poundland. They get a lot of gifts off friends and family. People like buying for children. It's a nice, fun thing to do. And so we'd end up with so many presents, even if we got them like 1 or 2 presents. Just don't even appreciate it. In fact, one birthday, I remember Brooke getting quite a lot of presents because she'd had a birthday party. And I've got a video somewhere of me saying to Brooke, Brooke, what was your favourite present? And she goes, and she burst into tears. She goes, I've got too many.
Coming to my party, and I love you all lots.
And what kind of presents did you get? Quickly, tell us.
I got 2
What?
I got 2
Yeah, but tell me what something. And it was like an overwhelm because there was too many gifts. First of all, it starts with the children's expectation overall. I have always said to my children, you can write a Christmas list, but that Christmas list isn't guaranteed. What it is it helps Father Christmas get an idea of the kinds of things that you like, and then he comes up with some ideas. So it might be things off your list, it might not, it might be something else that you haven't even thought of. But whatever you get, won't you be excited? And my girls go, yeah, I can't wait. I hope I get something. And because we never gave them loads and loads of presents, anything that they get, they are chuffed to bits with. The other thing is that throughout the rest of the year, there is real minimal present buying from me, which means that when it is Christmas, the fact that they get gifts is really exciting. If you give your children presents all of the time and they're always getting toys, and every time you go to the supermarket they get something, every time you go to the shop they get a magazine, if that's every time, then there's a level, isn't there? There's a level and expectation there that you kind of have to live up to. So Father Christmas has got to step his game up. Whereas Father Christmas, it's easy in my house for him. It's easy doors. And what I do with the present, because of the age of them, mine are 5 and 7, I will wrap things up individually because we know they like the idea of lots of opening. So if I've got a pack of books, I'll individually wrap the books because it seems like more. I will go to charity shops. Now, I can also say that I can afford to buy my girls gifts. I'm not being flash, but I do all right, and I'm in a position where I could spend silly money if I really wanted to. But I don't like the idea of my children thinking that's just it. Every year they get the new thing, I just don't like it. And I think I would like my children to be more imaginative than that. So what are the ways to make Christmas cheaper? Charity shop. There is nothing wrong with buying charity shop gifts or going to a car boot sale and getting second-hand gifts. Speak to friends around you. Some of their children will have older children that no longer need the toys and they might be in good nick. And especially when your children are younger, they have no clue. I know for a fact when I was growing up, I got second-hand gifts. When I was a child, did I know that they were second-hand gifts? I didn't care, first of all, but I didn't know that anyway because they were wrapped up, they looked nice, they were under the tree. As far as I was concerned, everything was brand new and it was new to me, so it didn't really matter. Next up, and this isn't necessarily for your children, it could be if you're really good and creative, but when you're buying for people in your family, you know, grandparents and maybe teachers, even at the you know, when you buy for teachers, make the gifts. Make it a Christmas thing that you do with your children. Sit down with them, do something creative. They will love that far more than going to the shop and buying stuff. Draw a picture for the teacher. Let's be honest, it is your get out of jail free card with anybody that's in your family, because grandparents will love anything that your children draw them or make them, and it's dead easy for you to do with the kids, and the kids will love it. They'll feel special. Even if you do things like we went to IKEA and bought a load of really cheap frames, and then we did pictures. We just drew some pictures and did some cutting and sticking, and we put them in little frames so they felt like they were really special and they'd made something wicked. They'd had fun making them, and it was cheap. There are lots of creative things that you can do that are next to free or really minimal kind of cost, but actually they'll be much more special to the people that receive them than a voucher. Surely the point of Christmas is about spending time with family, having time off, being festive and having fun and loving each other, and not about overspending. And more than anything, it's about what is acceptable for you, but you understanding that it just doesn't have to be this guilt laden. Don't feel guilty if you cannot afford to buy the in present. It's not even what your children want. Even if they say it is, even if you haven't managed their expectation up to this point, and so your children are quite expectant, you can reel that back in. And as they get older, once they're of an age where Father Christmas is not an issue, then you need to sit down and speak to your children about money management. I talk to my children about money. I talk to my children about how much our mortgage is, and I make them understand it. Every time we go for food, I let them understand that that's money out of my account. When they see me take money out of the hole in the wall, I say that's coming out of mummy's account. It's not free money, because I want my children to understand the value of what we have, how lucky we are. So I'm not trying to take the fun out of Christmas. I'm not saying you can't spend if you want to, but I just want you to think about it. Not go crazy and think that your children will love you more if you spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on them. The only way is up, okay? So if you, I've just spilled my coffee on me. That's so annoying. Look, that's really annoying, isn't it? I could stop the video and pretend that didn't happen, but I'm not gonna. But your children, I've forgotten what I was saying now, but my point was that your children want you, and they don't really care about all of that stuff. They would rather have a happy mum and dad that weren't stressed about money and had a lovely fun Christmas, and it's all sparkly and they've got a Christmas tree up and stuff like that. Try and rein it in. Enjoy Christmas, have a lush time, but don't get yourself into debt. It doesn't matter, it's not worth it. Your children will love you regardless. And let me know your ideas on Christmas, what you do, what you think is an acceptable level of spending. And definitely do not do the whole big present thing on social media, because it does make people feel bad. Let's be honest, it does make people feel bad when they can't afford that kind of stuff. They don't have those things. So I'm not saying you can't be happy about the things you have or how lucky you are, but just appreciate that not everybody is in that situation this Christmas. Speak to you all soon.